What's going on, my Cardano friends? It's your friend Jack here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over altcoins versus NFTs, which one is going to 1000x, and which one am I planning on going into. And if you can tell by the title, I'm going the degenerate route, and it's going to be NFTs. But in this video, I want to tell you why I am going that route, and also why I think it's just better and a lot more fun, especially for me. First off, I am spending a lot of my ADA on NFTs, but also pretty much all my net worth is in Cardano. And most people aren't going to be able to say that. Most people probably shouldn't be in my situation. I don't even know if I should myself be in this situation. But having a heavy amount of risk also comes with a heavy amount of reward. And also, there's potential to go to zero or to lose everything. But at the same time, I'm 22. You might not be 22 watching this. And I have a lot more room and fun areas to play in where if I go to zero, if I lose everything, I can make it back. It's just a little bit of money, and I do have a lot of time on my side. So keep that in mind. Now, speaking of time on your side, if you want to compound your ADA bag by staking for 4 to 5% annually return on your ADA, so make ADA on your ADA, you can do so with the Jack stake pool. Now, let's get into the video today. We're talking about NFTs versus altcoins and why I think NFTs for me and for a lot of people are going to be the better option. First of all, NFTs often are a lot more illiquid, meaning that it can be a lot harder to sell your NFTs if there's not a buyer market there, as there's no liquidity pools for NFTs being put together that you can constantly trade with. There has to be a buyer lined up to buy your asset. That is a downfall of making massive gains or having super, illiquid NFTs or assets that maybe the floor is 100, but you can't actually sell any of them because no one is trying to buy them. So now I want to go over some examples, just show you some, price history. NFTs do go up in value. We have an example, Disco Solaris here, and they do go up in value because usually fundamental reasons. Price charts are a lot different. There is technical analysis, there's things going on. And to me, having a floor price and having a lot more, fundamental, easy to see through buyer mechanics, whether it be macro or micro, it is a lot more fun and interesting and easy to navigate for someone who's new to the space. It's basic human understanding. It's not, is this wedge going to force a catapult upwards in price or vice versa? Are we going to test new lows? All of these things, although technical analysis is based on human psychology, this way of perceiving it will also be able to own an image and having proper ownership of it, to me, is 10 times more fun and also likely going to be a lot more profitable in the long run if you do hit some really big wins, which are very possible with NFTs. Yes, you can keep up with development for, say, a token, whether it be Dana token, whether it be Milk, whether it's something else, and you can look at the price and you can make all kinds of assumptions. But to me, this is not what I want to look at. I want to hold an image, whether it be an NFT or something similar, rather than just a token. And when I'm investing and I want to get that childish side of me going, which I really want to keep going for as long as I can, having images of cute cats or, discoing people or whatever else is going to me be a lot more fun, but also it has been more profitable. I have made investments in altcoins in the Cardano ecosystem and other ecosystems, and usually they fall with Bitcoin a lot of the time, or sometimes they do very well, but the investments that I'm putting into NFTs in my eyes are more fun. I have a lot more conviction in them because I know directly the people working on these. They're often smaller, tighter knit teams, which do share a lot more information. And overall, the sentiment behind it and the reason for getting into these is much more targeted than, say, just an altcoin in the Cardano ecosystem, where some people might be buying it just because others are, and some people might be buying it just because they have a lot of conviction. But most of the time for NFTs, that conviction side of things is a heavy meter because of the entry price being so high for a lot of NFTs and especially high value projects compared to a token where you can get just a little bit of it for a small fraction. Now, this also opens new doors. You can't buy a fraction of an NFT, really. And if you want a piece of the action, sometimes you have to go all in and put a lot of dough on the line. And that's where the major profits come in from early holders and also just people in general buying in before the price goes to a crazy point. And Cardano is very new to this. Cardano prices right now for NFTs aren't even that crazy. Ape Society, I don't have any. I actually sold one at a loss at one point, and a few months later that 2600 floor from a 500 floor. So things happen quick. These things don't really happen in altcoins during these bear seasons where everything's just dead in the water. But in NFTs, things don't really die down too much. And there is always a lot more opportunities that I can find in the NFT market, even when we're in downturns of the market cycle in general for overall crypto. My claim to fame with investing in NFTs really has been Dead Pixels. This is one of the first projects I ever minted. I made a bunch of videos on it. I talked about it a lot. And at the end of the day, it was innovative at the time and still is innovative right now. The floor was, say, 50 ADA. That was the mint price. And the floor was less than 50 ADA for a while there. And nowadays, the floor is around 2.5 to 3,000. So things grow exponentially in NFTs. I do think we are still getting warmed up for a lot of projects, but I think being early into a lot of really good projects that have a long-term vision is going from an investment point of view to be very profitable. And to me, probably even more profitable as I pay more attention to the NFT scene than I do the altcoin markets and the traditional, basically crypto sphere aspects of the Cardano ecosystem. I do have investments over there, but a lot of my cash or a lot of my ADA is really just tied up in NFTs, probably around 50% of it if we're going for equal valuations. Of course, I still do hold a lot of ADA normally. That is still going to be always a thing. I'm not going to all go into NFTs at once. I do believe long-term in Cardano and the price of ADA too. So I also want to have some liquidity there and just normal, maybe some safer investments, if you could call it that, just having my money in ADA strictly as well. I also want to mention when we're talking about NFTs, again, you have a lot more things to look at here. With NFTs, you get to get involved heavily in projects, and you can even help boost NFTs and the community and help build things around it very easily. You can get involved, you can support their teams, and maybe it's not the most financially beneficial to you, but it is a lot more fun than just going into, say, an altcoins or projects building with a coin token and talking about what they're doing, because they'll likely have their own team. They have things going on. With NFT projects, it's more close to home. You can come in and almost be adopted into their team by just participating and adding value. And this is shown with something like Disco Solaris. We have people all over the community making things about the storyline and adding to it. Things like that are really cool, and I do think they will play a large part in investors getting more involved, but also more people getting excited about their investments and having a lot of conviction. Lastly, I want to mention that I do have NFT projects. I've had it for a while. I haven't mentioned it on the channel in a while, but if you want to come and hang out in the Discord, I will leave it link down in the description. You can buy a stick frick off the aftermarket as well, but you don't need a stick frick to participate in the chat. And I am in there really often. If you ever want to ask some questions, just chat about NFTs or anything else, feel free to join. The link will be down in the description. That's all for today. I hope you guys have a great freaking day. It's been your friend Jack, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.